Welcome back to High School DxD Anime Review. This is special number 1. This one I'm reviewing the 11th and 12th light novels for the High School DxD light novel series. The 11th one is Betrayals at Promotions Test. 12 is Heroes of Tutoring. Volume 11, which kind of takes place not long after the events of Book 10, basically not long after the events of Season 4, where the book kind of starts out with, Issei, of course, having trouble calling Reyes by her name. Of course, some people basically insist that, that's what they're doing now. He can officially call her by her actual name instead by Baktido, I think it's how you pronounce the name itself. And I had a commenter who was saying that the name is Essel for the main character. I call him Issei because that is how they pronounce his name in the English dub, so that is why I'm calling him that. Yeah, and that was basically the start of the book, but there's a lot of really big things that happen in Book 11, like Rebel Phoenix becomes Issei's manager. Why not? It's not a bad idea. And we also have Akano, Kiba, and Issei go for their mid-class exams, which they pass every single one, but you don't get to say so their promotion into the next book. We also have Orpheus, Kateria, and Lafay Pendragon, the sister of Arthur, who is later revealed to be the descendant of Morgan Le Fay. They briefly stay at Issei's house. Now, Orpheus is there because she wants to get a chance to talk to Issei and, of course, talk about the whole dragon stuff, what happened in some of the previous stuff that's been going on. Kiniko goes under meeting season, and that's why her sister is there. How she gets out of it is quite unusual. Now, Reyes tells Issei, promise me you will not have sex with her. He doesn't. At all. He keeps the promise. How does she get out of it? Simple. By touching his skin. Yeah. Okay, it would seem like that the time would have, but nope. Touching his skin somehow got her out of it, and she's basically back to normal. Yep. Let's see. Yeah, Orpheus basically becomes a big player both in this book and the next one. I forgot to mention this during my review of Season 4. They have Hades, the Greek god Hades, show up. And his appearance in the show, I'm like, man, this is not like how I've seen other stuff. Excuse me. The way he looks, from images I've seen of the series Overlord, he looks like the skeletal character from Overlord. That's basically what he looks like. I'm not talking about the film Overlord that came recently. I'm talking about the anime Overlord. My friend Edgar recommends. I haven't had a chance to watch it as an RPG. But yeah, it kind of reminds me of that character. And you only see him just for one scene in the actual show. In the books, in these two books, Hades is basically the main villain of Book 11. He plays a minor role in Book 12. And, of course, his group basically kind of, the hero group who show up in the previous show in Book 9, they come back. As a matter of fact, the events of Book 9 are actually referenced in Book 11. Yeah, they're actually referenced, like the Kyoto trip and the battle with the hero faction that's actually brought up here. Yeah, they actually show up in the next book as well, because next book, Book 12, is a continuation of this book. And the book ends, while having all like major battle stuff that happens in the second half of the book kind of ends with the apparent death of Issei. Yeah, he apparently dies. All that's left is his evil pieces. It's revealed in the next book, he actually survives. Yep, he survives, but kind of basically his soul got transferred to his armor, and that's how he survived. Eventually got a new body, and of course, most of the whole book, Issei plays like, you see like a little bit here and there of him, like mostly he's in the dimensional realm, which is where Asha went to in Book 6 when she was transported away. Lucky enough she was saved by the Veil team, which they actually don't play a role in this book at all. No, they don't. Of course, Orpheus basically, toward the end of this 11th book, is asked by Issei if they can become friends. Sure. Yeah, she has no problem with it. Yep. And Of course, almost most of the book, all of the characters are depressed at Issei's death. Eventually, Issei does. They do give some hints that Issei's alive, but they don't see him until like the end. I think it was of chapter 3 when he shows up. And now I'm exaggerating what he says. He kind of like does a whole thing where you see like an anime or a comic where you hear somebody in the distance saying this grand entrance, and in the next chapter basically explains like how he got basically what he did, how he got there. He kind of says like, did someone call for a hero? And of course everybody's shocked to hear that him alive, although he's in the form of a giant dragon. Yeah, he's in a giant dragon, and he comes down, beats people up, sees Rias. Of course, he contacts Rias' sister-in-law, tells her he's alive, and of course he goes to Rias and says, "I'd like to return to your service." She's like, "Yes, as long as you continue to live with me and be beside me." Of course, he gets Eva pieces back, becomes the ultimate pawn, and let's see, he actually defeats the hero faction with his new power. They explain really well. He's become a lot more powerful since he got resurrected. Yep, and he was able to defeat the entire hero faction, and they all were arrested, all alive and well. And it would seem like that with these particular books, it's a start of the end of the Chaos Brigade, because apparently also it was revealed also in this book, it was kind of hinted in the previous book, that the Chaos Brigade is undergoing, like, they're basically fighting each other for dominance. And of course they created a bogus Orphis. That's basically this character name. She showed up in season 4. Excuse me, no, it wasn't season 4. She showed up in season 3. She did show up in season 4 as well of the show. And at the end of the book, toward the end of it, she basically is offered to live with Issei. Issei offers to go home with him. He's like, she accepts, and of course, it was revealed toward the end of the book that Issei, Kiba, and Akeno all get promoted to mid-class devil, and of course, Issei's told Orphis cannot become part of his one of his servants because she was the leader of a terrorist group, but that doesn't stop what goes on with LeFay Pendragon. Yeah, they also hint at stuff that happens in later books, basically where I'm trying to think how you do it. That the devils can form contracts with magicians. Issei does in a later book. I won't reveal who he does it with. Now, people who are fans of the series probably know exactly who he is. Please don't spoil it. I haven't really got that far yet. I know who he forms a contract with. I just want to read it in the light novel in order to get there. I gotta say, now, the commenter who basically told me about these two books, he says these books are basically the best novel series. Oh yeah, and also almost forgot to mention that Issei asks Reyes out on a date prior to taking the exam. It's like, if I pass, can you go out with me? She says, sure. And of course, the next book, Reyes is like, you still want to go on that date? And of course, Issei's on a date. He says, sure. Let's go on a date next weekend. And of course, all the other characters are basically asking Issei out on a date, which I don't know if he does do. I know he does with one of the characters in a later book. I won't reveal who, but yeah. 2 really fantastic light novels. I'm not exactly reviewing every single detail. They also at one point when Gasper finds out what happened to Issei, he goes berserk. Yeah, he becomes like a completely different person and nearly goes on a rampage. Kind of similar to when Issei when he went to the Juggernaut mode in book 6. It's very similar to that. Overall, I'm going to give these 2 books a 9 out of 10. Fantastic light novels. Great story, too. I mean, yeah, there's not much for fan service in the book. There's some hints at it in the book. At one point, when Issei is in his armor form, he's like, he's in his armor form. He's like, I can't become a hero. I can't exactly touch any naughty bits while I'm in this armor form. And it's like he's only using his power up is if he pokes Reyes' breast. Yeah, that's how he gets a power up, by poking her. He's done it twice in the series. Yeah, he did it in season 3, and he did it in season 4. Yep. Yeah. That's really it. 2 really fantastic light novels. Okay, so that's it for this particular review. Stay tuned for my review of book 13. I'm going to work on that next. Yeah. Now, pretty much, I thought this was going to be a series of 17 videos, but because I had finished the book 11 on the way home from work, and I already finished book 11. I had started on book 12. I was actually almost done with that. It was actually in the second to last chapter. So I kind of figured, though, I would just finish the book and then review it. And that's what I'm doing now. So expect to see a review of probably 13, maybe later on, maybe in the next few hours. Who knows? Depends how long it takes me to finish up book 13. Because think of these light novels, they're not very long. Yeah. And normally when I review these light novels, I usually have the actual physical book in front of me. How I was able to read these, I read them online. Yeah, that's how I read them. Now, I went to Barnes & Noble recently to see if they have any of the high school DxD light novels. They don't. All they have is the manga. None of the light novels, surprisingly. Yeah, I don't know if they actually released them over here, and I know they released a manga over here. I don't know about the light novels. I know they did it for Sword Art Online and ReZero. I'm not so sure about High School DxD. If it has, I know it's been released over in Japan already. But yeah, this will be a series of, as of right now, it's going to be 17 specials. Right now, because I just finished this one, it's going to be just, because this one I reviewed 2 books, it's going to be, it could be 15 or 16. It could be. Depends on how long it takes to finish up each book. So yeah. So expect to see a review soon. Not right now, especially. Probably in a few hours, because that's how long it takes me to finish these light novels, because they're not very long. Yeah. I get these light novels done pretty quickly. I think I was able to watch a show. Yeah, I'm reading this. I'm not going to say what site I'm using. If anybody is curious exactly what site I'm using to read these light novels, just private message me, and I'll tell you where I'm reading these things. Yeah. Otherwise, though, that's it. Stay tuned for those next review soon. But until I see you next video, bye.